All right, we're going to get started. My name is Sarah Hendrickson. I'm the Adult Services Librarian here at Edie Lack Elementary. Used to be a teacher, that kind of slowed down. Edie Lack Public Library. And this is Katie. She is also part of the Adult Services team. I'm getting over a bad cold. My voice is not good, and talking aggravates my cough. So Katie's taking the lead on this one, and I will be walking around trying to not talk as much as possible, just to make life better for all of us. Thank you for coming. We are talking about iOS devices today. So if you are here for Android, you are at the wrong workshop. We had that yesterday. But feel free to look online at our live stream. Lots of good information. A lot of it will be the same, but again, it's specific for iOS, so some things will definitely be different. Everything that we will be talking about today is in your folder, and your folder is yours to take home. Included in there is a survey, and at the end, if you wouldn't mind filling that out, we were given a grant to do these workshops from Public Library Association and AT&T to use Digital Learn. So they want to know how things went, and we want to tell them. So if there's nothing else, I'll give it to Katie.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. Thank you guys for coming. We'll get started. So on today's agenda, we'll be learning about mobile devices and Apple devices in particular. We'll work on building skills and confidence in using your iPhone or iPad. This will include an introduction to mobile devices, skill building including navigating your device, getting connected to Wi-Fi, common apps that you would use, and helpful settings for accessibility and privacy. You'll also learn tips and tricks for safety and security with your device, and you'll have opportunities to practice. Let's get started. So does anyone want to share what brought you to the workshop today?
I can share.
Sure.
I just, like a week ago, went from an iPhone 7 with like 32 gigabytes to an iPhone 15 with 128.
Wow.
And I had pretty much just stopped using my phone because it was all full. So
Yeah.
I want to, since I got this high volume thing, I want to learn how to use it better.
Yeah, great. Anybody else? Yeah.
I got a couple of questions. I need to change the font on my phone, and I know it's probably in settings, but I'm always scared to death I'm going to do something wrong.
Yeah.
The other is Apple somehow has set up albums for me at times. So I'd like to know how to set one up, name it, and then put my pictures in it. And then sometimes at the bottom of pictures, it'll have like albums and something else, and you can't get your pictures, and I don't know how to get there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll try to answer those questions, and if we don't get to those specifically, definitely we'd encourage you to set up an appointment with Sarah or I, where we can help you with those more kind of in-depth questions. But those are, all good questions. So today's mobile devices can do many of the same things that a traditional computer can do. You can search the internet, access email, watch videos, listen to music, get directions, and connect with friends and family. So on the left, we see a smartphone that is an iPhone. A smartphone is a mobile telephone that has both cellular and internet access. It allows you to make and receive calls and text messages, and because they're connected to the internet, you can also share photos, play videos, send email, and browse the internet. On the right is an iPad, which is a kind of tablet. A tablet is a portable computer that uses a touch screen, and most tablets are smaller and weigh less than a computer, but bigger and weigh a little more than a phone. Tablets connect to the internet through Wi-Fi or cellular connection, but can't get phone calls. So a primary difference between a mobile device and a computer is the way that you get around. Rather than using a mouse or keyboard, you use your fingers to tap, type, scroll, and more. You can also use your voice to help navigate your device. If you have the ports and buttons on your smartphone or tablet will vary depending on the specific model you're using. In general, phones and tablets have a power button and a volume and controls. Smartphones typically have a ring and silent switch. So this is my phone. I'm an Apple user. So I've got my power button here on the right, the ring and silent switch here on top, and then the volume control. Tablets are typically the same, but won't have the ring and silent switch since you're not getting phone calls. Both smartphones and tablets have a charging port, and typically it's at the bottom of your phone. As we get started using the phone or tablet, the first thing we need to do is unlock the device. The way you do this is on one of the choices you made when you set up the phone. You may have set up Face ID or a passcode. And depending on the iPhone you have, you may also have the option to use your fingerprint to unlock the phone. So this is the home screen of a phone. So once you unlock the phone, this is typically, you'll see something like this. Does anybody recognize any apps, or are there apps that you use regularly?
We use streaming services as well, like Netflix, Hulu, Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Disney
Okay,
Plus.
yeah, those are, not seen here, but definitely popular ones that people download. Anybody else?
I got a question.
Yeah.
When you look at an app, let's say Netflix, and click on it, does it tell you right away what it costs and then how or what you do? I mean, some don't cost anything, right? And some do.
Yeah, so all the apps on your home screen kind of automatically would be ones that are just included with the phone. So there wouldn't be anything on the iPhone that would cost money, except like if you chose to download it. And to do that, we'll talk about a little bit later, but you would go to the App Store. And I believe if it does cost money, it would say straight away like how much it costs to install. But yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, but otherwise, usually what you have on there is it's not an issue. Is it?
Right, yeah. I mean, like, so for example, iTunes is an app where you can make purchases. You could buy, songs or videos, but just opening the app and using it wouldn't cost any money.
And I would guess with the news one, like in order for you to get the newspapers, you're gonna have to purchase those yourself. And then you would do that in the news app. I've never done that myself, but.
Yeah, some things are free, and then other, like New York Times is behind a paywall, or yeah.
I don't have a home screen.
You don't have a home screen?
No.
Let's-
All right, so hit the button again.
Hit that button.
There you go.
Okay. So iPhones come with phone, messages, email, internet, camera, maps, clock, calendar, and more. The top of the screen includes a status bar showing battery percentage, Wi-Fi, and cellular connection. So let's see if I can make it a little bigger. So up here, you've got the time. This will show your data service, how strong your connection is with your cellular provider. this will show your Wi-Fi, how strong the Wi-Fi connection is if you're connected. If you're not connected, it will still be there, but it will be like empty. It will be gray or not full of color. And then this is your battery percentage. So the more full it is, the more battery you have left. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about tapping. So tap your finger on the screen if you guys want to follow along on your phone. Tap your finger on the screen to activate a control. Type on a keyboard or select something on the screen. For example, you can tap on an app to open it. Go to the Maps app on your phone and open it. To go back to the home screen, swipe up from the bottom of the screen. So is everyone able to open an app just by tapping?
And it's a soft tap.
A soft tap.
No need to attack you guys. That could hinder things, actually.
I have a question. I'm in the maps and I've always wanted to know what to do when they ask me this question.
That is a good, so it's saying help improve maps. Allow Apple to use your significant locations and app launch locations to improve maps.
I would say no.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like privacy issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, it's up to you, I'd ask if you
For
want.
now, we'll say don't know.
Yeah, you can always change it later if you want, but that's a good, yeah.
That's very good. It's a privacy thing, right?
Yeah, yep. Next, we're gonna try the tap and hold with your finger to display a menu of options. In this example, if you tap and hold the Maps icon, the menu opens. So, show. So if I tap Goodreads, Goodreads will open up.
Now I've got minuses on all my apps.
If you tap and hold, a menu will pop up. So it's saying update progress, scan books, edit home screen, share app, or remove app. So each app has different options on the menu. And this person found that if you keep holding it, you actually get all the apps will start shaking and you'll get minus signs. And that's just an opportunity to kind of reorder where your apps are. So you can kind of like hold down and drag it and switch the places. I don't know if you can see that, but and to get that to go away, just tap again. Does anybody have a question about that? The shaky app? Yeah.
You had said to get out of an app, you swipe up to get back to the home screen. That doesn't work on mine. So does that just work on some? I just hit the home
Oh,
button. I just
yeah.
hit the home button.
That's a good point. So the swipe up is if on like a newer iPhone, I think I have a 10. So I don't have that button at the bottom.
Oh,
So that's kind of the
that's the home button.
alternate. Yeah, that's the home button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a button at the bottom, that's what you would use to get back to your home screen. Okay, swiping left and right. So from the apps view, you can swipe left to see more apps available on your phone. You can swipe left and right on many apps and websites to navigate around. From your apps view, give this a try. Swipe left across the screen to see the next page of apps. So depending on how new your phone is or how many apps you use, I've got 3 screens of apps. If I swipe all the way left, I get to this, I don't know what the name of it is, but it shows me the news headlines, the weather, and like photos that iPhone wants me to see. If I swipe all the way to the right, it will like group the apps for me and show all of them at once. that might also vary from depending on what iPhone you have.
So.
Does anybody have any questions about swiping to see apps?
How do I got in the maps, how do I get out?
You're gonna push that home button.
First.
Okay.
There you go.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I swipe enough times, I get to the app library? Is this just basically summarizing what's already on my screen?
Yeah, and it groups it kind of in different categories,
Okay.
which can be helpful. Yeah.
So it's just all this stuff?
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
All right. Swiping up and down is what you'll do to scroll through apps and websites. You can also use it to go back to the home screen, as we said, from an open app or pressing the button, depending on what you have. All right, now we're gonna do an activity. So, if you guys, in your folder, you should have activity sheets, if you wanna bring that out and kind of go through these different numbers, and see if you can find these different, features of your phone. And Sarah and I will wander around if you have questions.
That's. Is this what you want to do?
Yeah. I think it's back.
It's all digital.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I finally figured it out.
Okay, this question, how do you see?
It was like, I have to, you have to.
So,
to turn it off.
if you tap it again.
And then now it's.
Just kind of how we talked about on the home screen,
You
you
hold it
can
over
swipe from screen
Well, I
to
was
screen to
trying
see
to
all the
just
ones
turn
that
it
you
off by
have.
holding
Scroll
this,
through.
and it didn't seem to do anything. So,
So holding it usually brings up like Siri and stuff.
Yep.
You're right, you gotta hold the plus
Yep.
and this.
That's what you.
okay,
Yeah.
that's
And
what
then
I
it'll
did.
give you back. If you hold
Really?
it, if you hold the plus or minus for like 10 seconds, it just straight up just repeats.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you have an app that takes up a lot of the usage of your phone.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Once your phone out,
Yeah.
Now you go to settings, we'll talk about it a little.
pressing and holding the power button will bring up Siri, yeah.
So we had
Not in a specific way, so you'll go to
Samsung phone,
settings.
and there's this big
And
speaker.
Yep.
She's like, she's like, the only way I can turn off my phone is by like scrolling the settings. So we found a way for her to disable that.
So disable makes, you
Power
can
button.
disable Siri as well.
So the power button is the power button instead of Siri.
I don't know about if disabling Siri would do that, but I can disable it.
There should be a way.
Well, I just keep hitting it because it's you. I'm constantly seeing going.
Because you're so used to a 7, yeah.
I'll do a little hunting for you.
So there you go. See?
But-
Like, how do I get rid of it?
Okay.
She's becoming intrusive.
Try the one you're on.
What's that? Oh.
I think it's setting your, that's showing that it's the Face ID. Unlocking your phone. I think that's what that is. That's a really new one. I got 12, so I don't have, I don't have, yeah, as you say, I have like a big bar up here, so it doesn't really light up when I unlock it.
Yeah. It's like so sensitive.
Yeah.
It went from this thing that could,
Yeah, I know what you mean. The upgrade is always drastic.
yeah.
So you should be able to go to settings.
I might have to Google that.
And
What do you-
So.
How to make the screen less sensitive.
then physical.
Yeah, but right now you are in the check.
Sorry, let me see if I can.
Yeah.
I have no
That's
idea.
it, so you got it.
Okay, let's try to do
Like a level or something like that.
Yeah, and it could be based on the scene.
Yeah, you won't.
And that's out.
So like, I have it on silent.
Go where.
No problem.
Oh, there's
Going deep
Yeah.
down into the world.
Yeah.
That's good. And then.
We are trying to teamwork.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Settings,
Accessibility, like the
I just find it fascinating.
So
Siri, turning your phone on. I don't.
It's like for a while there,
what they're getting at.
I'm taking a picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's just for doing.
Yeah, settings, accessibility.
See all out of there.
And then side button. And there was a spot there. Choose Siri. Or. That's my hotspot.
Okay.
Yes, right there. Press the mouse.
Let's test that.
What's the phone line?
Like, for example, if I type Gorlu on Google,
No, I don't want to.
If I take a blue one,
Yeah.
keys on it.
images of rose.
I don't know.
Look at anything like
Very
celebrity.
See, when my phone is on Android, I
Probably
press and
not.
hold my power, then it gives me the section. Restart or turn it off. So I think that's what it means.
I don't know.
For off. Whereas pressing and hold.
Uh-huh.
I'll leave it here for
Keep
now.
looking around.
Well, and the great thing is sometimes.
Again, the final goal is you can,
Yeah.
so
Are you gonna
basically,
Google Translate or
And I have some friends that are Turkish.
are you gonna Google Translate or where
Oh.
are you headed?
I don't know.
so, yeah, those can be kind of intrusive in general, like if you're trying to text out of an ad, they purposely make it very small.
Where are you?
Finger doesn't impact.
You got questions, Donnie?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because then you could, it's very weird, like, some ads I've seen when I'm thinking.
Okay.
It's like, it'll show up an ad, and then you
Raise
press
your
the.
hand.
and
Wanna help
then
ya?
it's actually bring up, like,
Figure
showing
things
that you
out.
download
I
it,
just
you hit
realized
done, and then you have to wait for another one to show up, and then you hit that, and then it'll bring things out. And
Little
sometimes
Siri
it'll-
doesn't turn his phone on.
I don't think
No
that, so
idea,
that
that
was
whole
the
thing, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could,
Google has to translate.
You can actually hit your power button to like.
So ask
where
me
they're
at
off.
Google.
Show you.
So ask me later.
Or
going
to.
It's very intrusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep looking around.
Yep, go there and then turn it. Yep,
that's what I've done.
okay.
So
So go to settings.
The volume.
Yeah.
Finding new things out. You know how that one, I don't know, yesterday there was a woman with a Samsung, and when she pressed her power button, Bixby, the voice thing would come on, she could never turn her phone off. And these new phones, it's the same thing with Siri.
Oh.
So you actually have to go
That's where I
in,
go for when, if I have a question.
Yeah.
so settings,
But I
and then,
didn't know, when you're in an app.
and then accessibility.
And on your home screen, you go
Alright, I'm gonna
left and right.
keep moving.
And does that look like, I'll show, go in there.
Oh, most of the things.
My kids laugh at me. All right. Settings.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
So we're gonna talk about some of the common apps on iPhones and iPads. iPhones and tablets offer access to almost unlimited number of apps. Apps are programs designed to help you accomplish different tasks. When you turn on your phone and unlock it, you should see a screen that looks something like this one. In this section of the workshop, I'll introduce and talk about some of the most common apps on Apple devices. Please follow along on your own device and briefly explore each of the apps. All right, so the phone app allows you to make and receive calls. To use it, you'll tap on the app to open it. So here on the iPhone is the phone app. Old-fashioned telephone. That will bring up this screen.
That's okay. I don't need.
There are two main ways to make a call. You can tap the contacts icon at the bottom to select a name listed in your contacts app, or you can type a number on the keypad. So down here, you've got the star is your favorite, so you can know which contacts are your favorites, the people that you call more often. Recents will show your call history. Contacts will show all the people that are your contacts. This is the keypad, and then this is the voicemail that is where you can listen to your voicemails. After dialing a number, you'll tap the green button to start the call. So that big green circle. When you're ready to hang up, tap the red phone button to end the call. To answer incoming calls, you'll tap either green for accept or red for decline. Yeah.
If you touch red for decline, and it said scam likely, is that the way to go, or should you just let the whole scam thing play out and then delete it later? Does it matter?
That's a good question. I don't think that would matter. Yeah, because if you're declining the call, you're not like engaging with them at all.
Okay.
It's just more clearly like you're just hanging up sooner. If you let it go, then it will kind of just keep ringing and ringing.
Does decline prevent it from going to the voicemail?
No. It
So-
sends it to voicemail, yeah.
I don't quite
How do you-
understand why you would have decline for anything. All you have to do is not answer it, right? And it goes to the voicemail.
Yeah, it would just keep you from hearing the ringing sound longer.
How do you, for favorites, like if you have one or two people you call often, I don't know how to get that labeled.
I think the phone just does it.
No.
No?
It goes to the contacts.
Any other questions?
So let's say,
You can choose it.
let's take my phone lady, for example.
Okay.
If I push this, will it ring or?
So now we're gonna talk about messaging. If you want to send a text message, you'll use the Messages app. To open the app, tap on it on the home screen. So the messaging app is this green square with the white speech bubble. So once you open it, you'll get this screen. Depending on how many text messages you have, this person only has 2 messages going.
Wow.
Yeah.
They must clean out their mailbox a lot.
Yeah. So you can use the search box to search all of your text messages. You can tap the compose icon to start a new conversation, or you can tap a current conversation to send or read new messages and send a response.
That must be for new phones only, because mine doesn't have a search.
Sometimes if you scroll down with your finger, the search bar will appear, I think.
No, this is an iPhone SE, so let's take a look.
It is if you do have it, it is a nice function. Sometimes I will, like if I remember that my mom told me somebody's address, but I can't remember what the address is, I'll like search address and it will bring up like any text message that I have with the word address in it. So even beyond just like searching for like somebody's contact, if there's like a word or a recipe, that you remember somebody texted you, it'll search through.
So it searches the content of the email.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay. You can send a text message to someone by typing their cell phone number in the to field, or if the person is in your contacts, you can begin to type their name. Once the name of the person displays, you'll tap to select it. Then you will type your message and tap the green arrow to send it. Any questions about messaging?
How about if you want to send a GIF?
Good question.
Because on my phone, I would like to send a GIF to my mom. So there's the thing called images there, and there's some other options right there. Like you press the plus sign, and you'll see camera, photos, pictures, cache, audio, and then images, which there show all the GIFs. Like if I want to look up a whatever GIF, and find the one that I like, make sure it's appropriate. Like this one, for example.
Yeah.
And then press the blue thing to send.
Yeah. You got it. So, depending on your phone, so my options are all down here. If you wanted to add a photo, there's lots of options. Send your something with the fitness app. You can also send GIFs, a song. So underneath my message bar, I have all these different options. I think that I only use photos sometimes.
Where is that? Where is that line of options?
It might be different because if you go to compose a message
I think there's.
and push the plus button,
Contact sample, press
This is
plus.
somebody watching.
so if you wanted
Go
to
down.
add a photo,
Okay.
add a sticker,
Let me.
You'll get a logo.
What I do.
Right, yep.
And then when I go to type in all of the options.
Yeah, if you want to start in the message.
So I wonder if you start typing.
What are you looking at, yeah?
Yeah, like where is that?
So
located?
basically,
When someone sends a message, like,
Oh, you
if I
can
send
go
a
more.
message, someone can just send a little heart or says like it, how did they get that? So that's so nice.
Yeah, so.
for a good example, send that.
Yeah.
And then just that's a little graphic.
If you
That's
go
funny.
and I sent it
I'd say
from my.
that's from the cameraman.
Yeah,
Personally, I'm a fan of.
so if you hold
They're very
down,
funny,
yes,
especially
yeah,
I send a lot.
you have these different reactions.
Because
Yeah.
it's basically a gift for every situation. It's like-
Yeah.
So yeah, when you do that, if you do that enough, I actually think it will just start. You can tell you.
Other questions?
It might not, but.
What happens if you just click more?
Yeah.
Click,
Okay.
or you can swipe for more as well.
Well,
But yeah, you
I think
can tap that for sure.
Did you have another question? All right, let's talk about email. If you want to send or read an email, you'll use the Mail app. Before you can receive or send email, you must first set up your Mail app to connect it to an email account. To set up an email account from the home screen, tap Settings. Well, we're going through, okay. So this is the Mail app. I honestly don't use that. I downloaded the Gmail app since I use Gmail and just use that and ignore this. Does anybody else use email on their phone?
I use the blue one.
Okay.
Even though I have Gmail.
Does anyone have questions on how to connect the email app?
I just have a question about what you said. You said there was something that you didn't do
I don't use this app. This is the app that comes with the iPhone.
Is it below it? I don't know.
Oh, sorry. This.
Oh, I
envelope.
use that, okay.
Yeah.
So
I chose to download the Gmail app to use for my
Oh,
email just because I like the format
Okay,
better.
gotcha.
When you do that, do you have to put in a password then each time you use the Gmail app?
No, it just, remembers me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna download the Gmail app now that I know about it, but I've been using that one. And on my phone, I could get 2 Gmail accounts up, but on my iPad at home, I could only get 1 up. Do I need to go into settings? Is that how, I think I don't know how to do that. So if I went into settings, it would let me set up a.
If you have the Gmail app, you should be able to add another account, even if it's on the tablet.
So then, because like I have 2 Gmails.
Yeah.
And when you click on your circle, even if it's on your tablet, you should have the ability to add another account with that. But that's if you're in the Gmail app.
Okay, what if I'm in that app?
Great question.
So this is going through how you would assign an email account to the Apple Mail account. So you'll go into settings, you'll select the Mail app.
Okay.
So if you go on the here.
So we can start.
Then you
can
would
start
click
here.
accounts.
Scrolling down until you see that app.
We won't go through these steps, but it's helpful to know that you can add an email account from almost any email provider using the settings app.
Yeah, if you want to.
And yeah, if you have questions about how to do that, we can for sure help you another time.
Okay, thank you for all your help.
Any other email questions? All right, let's talk about browsers. When you want to search the web from your phone, tap the internet icon to launch a web browser. In this example, the web browser is Safari, which is included with the Apple device. This app works much like a web browser on a computer. So Safari
It's at the very
is
bottom.
down here. This is also a customizable thing for your most common apps. So if you want to change what's here, the same way where you would tap and hold the app so you could move it around, you can also move it down into the taskbar, but you can only have, I think, 4 at a time. So if you move somebody down, it would kick somebody else off. In this example, we can see the homepage of the Chicago Public Library. You can search the web or visit a website using the address bar on the bottom. So the address bar, unlike a computer where it's on top, for Safari, it's down here. Once you have a web page up in the browser, you can swipe up to scroll down the page. I also mostly use Chrome on my phone. Also, it's just my preference. That's Google's internet browser. I like it better than Safari, but that's kind of just personal preference. When you want to take a picture or video, tap the camera icon to launch the camera app. So the camera icon is right up here.
That's Safari.
To take a picture or video, you would tap the button that's shaped like a circle. Right there at the middle and the bottom. You can scroll through the menu to switch between camera modes, including video, portrait, and panorama modes. So lots of different options. Video, slow motion, there's a time lapse, which is pretty cool. Portrait makes you very clear and everything in the background a little blurry. panoramic fun things to play around with.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Way on the very top, there's a circle in the right hand side
Yeah.
with a line through it.
Mhm.
Mine is always open, so when I take photos, if I don't, is there a way to change that on my phone?
You should just be able to tap
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's for a live.
Yes.
It's called live, yeah. So it takes a series of images, it's kind of making like a miniature movie every time you take a picture, but it does take up a lot more space for every photo. And yeah, so yeah, that's the live, and then this is the flash. So right now the lightning bolt is crossed off, so that means no using a flash. And this would be to turn it into a mirror, so to take a selfie. And then this shows like the photo that you just took. After you take a picture, you can click on the small image tile to view, edit, and share the image, or delete the photos and videos you've taken. So down here at the bottom are the options. You can share, like, edit, or delete. Liking just adds it to an album of liked images so that you can more easily reference it later. Okay, maps. When you want to find an address or get directions, you'll tap the Maps icon to launch the Maps app. So the Maps app will be right here. To do a search, you'll enter the location in the search maps box. Once you have the location on the screen, you would click the blue button to get directions to the location. From there, you can select directions for driving, walking, public transit, and more. So you got the car for driving, a person for walking, a train for like public transportation, a bicycle, and by like taxi cab. All right. So are there other apps that you guys use frequently?
TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube. Those are social media apps. And then the streaming services I mentioned are stream video. And for stream music, I mentioned Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Apple Music.
Great. Got your phone. Awesome. Anybody else?
I've been using that health and fitness lately,
Yeah.
but it's way bigger now on this phone than it was on the other one, so.
Yeah, I've been finding it interesting to like tracking my steps during the day. I don't really understand how it works, but it's fun to see. All right. So to add new apps to an iPhone or iPad, tap the App Store icon located on the home screen. So that's going to be this big A. When the App Store is open, you can browse featured apps, look for games, or search for an app by name.
Is this where we would find the Gmail app?
Yes.
Here we can see results from a search for a dictionary app. Let's take a look at the first app in the list. If the app has a get button instead of a price, like this example, the app is free. From this page, you can learn more about the app, including preview pictures and customer reviews. To install the app, you would click the Get button and follow the installation steps.
There's also AccuWeather, and then there's on-call.
So someone was asking about whether apps were costing money. So if it just says Get or install, it'll say that and it'll be free. This says in small letters next to it, in-app purchases, which means the app is free, but there's like bonus things that you could buy once it's open. But if it would cost money, then there would be a price there.
I have a friend who swears by weather underground. And I don't know if it's because there's.
Once the app downloads, it appears on the home screen. So you can now see the Merriam-Webster dictionary app. To delete an app, tap and hold on the app. A menu will appear where you can remove the app. All right, activity number 2. So, which app do you use to send an email? Blue envelope, right. What about search the web?
No, like Safari app.
Yes. What about send a text? Yep. Record a video. What? That would be the camera. What about make a phone call?
The green app with the telephone.
Yes, good job. And how do you get back to the home screen when you have an app open?
Press the home button.
Press the home button, or if you have a newer one, just swipe. Okay. Does everybody want to open your camera app and take a picture? And maybe just show it to your neighbor. Or take a picture of your neighbor.
Or another way to take a picture, if you have like the older version, just press this.
Oh yeah, to take a screenshot, right?
That's a really old school. Yeah.
Right?
That I know how to do.
I know.
And when the newer stuff comes, it's
That's it.
Because it's the last thing you
We're gonna excuse it for old.
The very last.
I think it's certainly one day.
And that gives you the option.
Okay.
Very clear and sharp.
Yeah, that
Everything behind it is.
So does this really cover through?
It shouldn't. Do you find that it is?
I told her I was gonna farms before we moved.
Yeah.
Where's the number?
So if you were
You
at.
said scroll, but it's
And you wanted.
there, now I have to find
Let
it.
me find that person first.
But you don't know if you want to do that.
So scrolling up and down is usually just when you're in an app.
Yep.
Well,
No, you can press your home.
and then you can go to your camera.
Yeah, just up to here if you want.
Oh, just move it everywhere else.
And then you can actually drag one
This
down.
should be
Better.
So,
Well, yeah, so this is as far as you can go in one direction.
Take several photos. So now that should be. It's a little.
Save time looking for an app. If they're around.
And I think it has space.
Otherwise I got to sit here and look at that.
I don't know if there's an up. If you go all the way to the right,
So you swipe up to get that list, but. No, there's.
Yeah, the chairs behind me.
well, this is,
That's
so
what
I
I
think
think.
this is
There
what
you
you're
go.
thinking.
Nice and bright anyway, so.
There it is.
Oh, I don't know how to do
I
that.
must have swiped that thing 15 times.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how
How
to
do
get to
I
that.
get that?
I've never
And I
seen
have no
it.
idea what I did to get it, because after 15 swipes, I don't know what I swiped on.
I'm not sure how to do that. Do you know how to get to that?
So,
This
that's how I get
alphabetical list?
Alphabetical is for app library?
Yeah.
Darn, there,
I just actually don't.
no, there, now here they are. But I don't know how I got it. Oh,
So,
what is all this stuff? Are those apps? Yeah,
so
those
the
are
little,
apps.
with the little cloud next to it, those aren't.
That's where it is.
They're in what?
They're not installed onto your phone. So you just have to download. They come pre-built onto your phone, pre-installed. Except you would have to go out down and, like a good example, I have the Books app uninstalled. I would have to tap and start to install the app onto my phone if I wanted to like, read the book or audiobooks or something like that.
Oh,
So
is this a list of the apps or is this?
yeah, so that's a list of every single app on your phone. For example, let's say if you wanted to find your, what is a good phone? What is a good app?
Well, they wanted to do the internet, so maybe it's not on there.
So it would be technically under Safari, the app would be called Safari. So one way that makes it a lot easier, so as you can see, I have a lot of apps on my phone. Instead of scrolling like this for all of eternity until I get to the S where I can hit Safari, which would take you to the internet, there's actually on the side here, there's an alphabet. You can actually tap around it and it'll take you to any app you have with that begins with that letter. So good example. So tap on the one that would get you to S, and it would take you. So the internet is technically Safari.
And also like, if you.
Safari would take you to where Google and all that stuff would be.
That's what I will do a lot of times if I don't know how to do something like, just like adding another email account. I have.
Connected to the internet.
So right now you're sitting on LTE, we don't have, she's about to go into that in like 2 seconds. So this is the thing where you type in what website you want to go to. For example, we'll just take it to
To get it on.
So if you
.com.
want to
And yeah, feel free to.
And since you're still on, you're not connected to the internet at the moment, but it would have taken you to.
The one you're.
Self-explanatory. Whatever. So yeah, it's like it works.
So it looks like you're not connected to the Wi-Fi here. So if you go hit your phone and then go to the settings.
Yeah, otherwise,
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, a lot of good questions.
Library.
The other one's
I don't
Right.
do anything on
Yeah,
my phone
since you're
except my phone call.
away from your phone.
right.
So I go on the internet, I'll go on my phone.
Speaker.
No, that'll all go away when I leave.
Yep, but then if you come back, then it should just
If I
automatically.
don't use the apps, I don't get all the scams. Yeah, it's true.
Now what? And save it to.
That's your car. Is that your car?
Used to be, back in the 70s. The stops on the three,
See,
four-cylinder engine,
somewhere in this.
Sweden.
Try something else, or should I?
You can just go back to where you were.
Shipped in Europe and sent it back.
Maybe.
Oh, I see that. I see. Pretty color.
It was fun.
Okay, I'm wondering if this cover is interfering with my.
So,
I got that protecting cover.
I should have to like last year. I'm the same
Sometimes if you press too hard, things won't
It doesn't
happen.
seem to matter, like it's hard or light or what.
It should be person like.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Right.
update.
Yeah.
Dan sent me.
Would you go to your store?
I always try turning it off
It used to be a
and then
Microsoft.
turning it on.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
And by the end, are you doing a raffle?
we are, yeah.
I started out with Microsoft, and I got tired of all the bugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about connecting to Wi-Fi.
Apple upgrades the software.
So to connect your phone to a cellular network, you need to have a service plan with a cellular service provider. If you have a cellular plan, your phone will connect to the network automatically everywhere your cellular plan has coverage. You'll know you're connected to the cellular network when you see the cell phone signal show the strength of the connection. So in the top right corner of your phone, you'll see how strong your connection is. Another way you can connect your phone or tablet to the internet is by connecting to a Wi-Fi network. All smartphones and tablets can connect to the internet using Wi-Fi. Many businesses, libraries, and other public places offer free Wi-Fi. You can use these public Wi-Fi networks when you visit the locations. You might need a password to access the network. And if you want to access it at home, you would need to sign up with an internet service provider.
Off. Turn it back on and see if that will make that work.
So if you want to connect to Wi-Fi, you'll click on the settings on the home screen. Then you'll tap on Wi-Fi. So the settings is that gray gear. You'll tap on Wi-Fi, which is the second one down. A list of Wi-Fi networks that are nearby will display. Networks with a lock icon require a password. Networks without a lock are public and do not need a password. Once you're connected to the Wi-Fi network, you'll see the Wi-Fi icon in the status bar at the top of your device.
I forgot to add ours on there, so you can just talk about it.
All right, to keep your information safe when you connect to Wi-Fi, follow these Wi-Fi security tips. Make sure you trust a network before connecting. You know who set up the network. Try not to send private information over public Wi-Fi networks. If you do send personal information, make sure the website is secure and begins with HTTPS. That S at the end is important. Set up a password for your home network to block intruders from accessing it. All right, activity number 3.
It's sensitive.
All right. So let's see if you're not already connected, if you can find the library wireless Wi-Fi network and connect to that. So the name of it is library-wireless. And I'll just wander around and see if anyone has an issue. Do you turn the iPad back on? I'm curious.
Usually it works.
Yeah, it's like connected to the library wireless, but then it says no internet connection.
Let's see.
Okay, are you guys able to connect?
She didn't, but she found where it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
She teaches me.
Awesome.
So when it says
that.
unsettled network, what are you?
Wow.
Oh, see,
That just means it's a public network, so you wouldn't want to do anything where you're giving out your personal information, so you don't wanna do any like banking transactions or, anything where you're giving out personal data.
Okay.
Yeah, so you really only wanna do that if you're
Oh,
on
I
your
guess it's
own
been doing.
personal, network where you've set up a password or,
But if you're just sending them.
And that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, will you humor me?
Yes.
Certainly. Will you turn this all the way off? Yes, let's turn it back on.
At the Wi-Fi. On, off.
Only other thing I'm wondering, because I noticed you have a VPN in this. That really shouldn't make a difference, because I have a VPN on my computer.
What's step one?
All right. let's turn
find the
it back on.
settings app. Scroll, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, yesterday.
Just click and move your finger.
That is just like this.
There you go.
Call.
Already.
It's all the things I wanted to call. Is it turn everything up? I know that shut it off. Turn it back on.
Fix all.
It's so crazy that that's.
So.
So you toggle it on.
No.
So this is the one that has been.
Right there.
What are these? Oh, it just means it's on.
In here.
Um,
So there's that blue check mark there
Yeah,
that says that you're there, and then right there,
yeah.
it shows that
Where do I?
Oh,
you're using it.
So now.
So if you like,
I'm just looking at this menu.
your phone is accessing the Wi-Fi, so if you were to do
If I wanna
any,
find a website, what do I do?
so you're gonna push your home button to get back to the home screen.
You've got two, this is the one.
I think I
This is
forgot.
the one. So you've got two on the screen.
Yeah, you just,
do that.
okay, so swipe it and
And then
then
you're gonna open
that's
this
the hard
Safari.
one. Will you go to the Wi-Fi screen mode? Just, I wanna see if it. You just touch that button.
Whoever was.
And then.
I'm not.
Yep, there.
Let's
Let's go to Wi-Fi.
There you go.
I just wanted to see. what-
Yeah, yeah.
I just
But.
scrolled down to refresh.
Yeah, so
Why did you do that?
goes off.
That refreshes the page.
For now.
I can't get into it.
You could also, I think it was already open, so you could close it all the way and reopen it.
Okay, so anyway, I have it set so that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Turning it back, so it just
I don't
works.
think that's a very good thing.
When you use someone else, they're not.
So.
Digit.
All right, we're gonna talk about settings.
So I have.
So in the settings app, you can view and change the settings on your mobile device, including accessibility features, security preferences, software updates, and more. So here's the settings app. You can see lots of different settings that you can look at, change, investigate. So one of the things that you can change is how you unlock your phone. You can use a PIN, a passcode, your Face ID, or a fingerprint.
Please make sure you use something.
Yeah, so please make sure you use something to protect your phone. This will help protect the data that's stored on your device if the device is ever lost or stolen. Each time you turn on the device or wake up the screen, you'll see a prompt to unlock it.
What setting did you go into to get to that thing that you were just talking about?
Good question.
That's what I was just gonna ask too.
Let's see.
Face ID and passcode.
Oh, okay, so ours doesn't have face ID.
And I'm just gonna put a plug. Anytime you use your thumbprint or face for ID on like a phone, that is your biometric data. And if someone who's not so nice would happen to get a hold of that, they could end up using that for other things. So from a privacy and security point of view, it would be better to use some sort of PIN, or I know some people have a like design or something that you unlock on your phone. And I got that from a professor at UW who teaches about privacy and security, and was very much saying that's probably not a wise choice to use that. And I had been using my thumbprint at that point, and I took it off my phone, so just some food for thought.
Can you say that again, Sarah? What's
Yeah,
that
please.
website?
Yeah, so if you recall from our cybersecurity class, anyone who has any sort of information about you can use it in a harmful manner. And if you're using your face or your fingerprint, that's your biometric data, which is very unique to you. Whereas there could be multiple people in here who hopefully not have a password of 1, 2, 3, 4. But only you have your thumbprint and your face. So if they have that, they could potentially, if they're a bad actor, use it for other things.
And how would they get it?
I mean, just like how we talk about cybersecurity, if there's people out there who are trying to figure things out, if they would happen to get to your phone, or, use if they had your finger, meaning like you were next. No.
Oh, I read it in a book.
We don't need to get quite that dramatic, but if they're next to you and they want to unlock your phone and they force you to unlock your phone with your thumb or that, then they have that to potentially use for other things.
See, and I thought that was more secure than the passcode.
Mine will accept my finger, and then sometimes when I've had it off, or just even in here, I just put my numbers in, so I,
Oh, periodically,
Yeah.
of course, you do.
yeah, which
for
is fine.
security.
So just food for thought. Having a good password is probably safer from a privacy perspective.
So let's talk about.
All right, let's talk about app security. Many apps on mobile devices have regular updates. Sometimes the updates have new features, but most importantly, updates fix bugs and problems and increase security. You can see app and operating system update settings by going to settings and then tapping general, which is down here. And then tapping software updates. You'll be able to see if there are any software updates to install. If there are, you can follow the prompts on the screen to install the updates. Privacy. Privacy settings are also important for mobile devices. Using your phone's privacy settings, you can decide which apps have access to information and data stored on your device, such as your location, photos, and microphone. To access privacy settings, tap the settings icon, then scroll down and tap privacy. You can adjust settings for location services and tracking. You can also change which apps have access to specific features on your phone, such as contacts, photos, microphone, camera, and more. This is an important thing to review. Privacy is important, and a lot of these things will just opt in for everything to have access to your location, and you have to manually opt out. So it's not great that that's how things are functioning now, but definitely something to be aware of. And if you have more questions about it, we can definitely help you after. Accessibility. These settings on your device can help you customize your phone to meet your visual, physical, motion or hearing needs. To find the accessibility features, tap settings. Then scroll down the page and tap accessibility. Common features to explore include a voice assistant to get spoken guidance to navigate the device without needing to see the screen, changing text size, contrast, and display cover of the screen, adjusting audio settings, and enhancing or changing the touch interactions. So lots of different things that you can adjust to make the phone easier for you to use. Activity number 4. All right, we're gonna look at these 2 different apps and think about which one might be more trusted. So we've got Worksy, which has 1.5 stars out of 5 from 15 people. And we've got TikTok, not that Tick, or no, Tick, which has 4.9 out of 5 from 15,000, over 15,000 ratings. So which one would you download? And why?
Tick.
Tick.
Because it's such an interesting name.
Yes. Although Worksy has a good sound to it. Any other reason?
Higher rating and more people rating it that way.
Yes, yeah. Lots more people have tested it out. Although, as Sarah mentioned yesterday, a good rating doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good app that is, what is it called? Temu? Temu is an app that's very well rated, but definitely will harvest a lot of your data as you're using it. So, yeah. It's always good to do research outside of just looking at the ratings and reviews to see what the app's actually doing. Yeah. Okay. So what would maybe be a problem with this? You're at work and you get this notification on your lock screen that you have a job interview at 11.
You can't change login, I guess you could spend.
Does anyone know how you might address that? So there are settings that you can adjust where you can say, these are the notifications that I want to show up on my lock screen. So you can say, I don't want my calendar notifications to show up on my lock screen. For text messages, you can choose how much detail you want in a text message notification if you want any on your lock screen. For me, I just have that I got a message from Sam, but I don't see anything about what the message is. You can also have like a short preview of the text that comes up in your notification. So just kind of depending on your personal preference of how much information you want available on your lock screen that people could see if you have it lying out. All right, some security tips. As we said, you want to set a passcode on all of your devices. Download requested apps only. Review your privacy settings and adjust them. Adjust notifications to change what appears on the lock screen. Check the apps and the operating system are up to date. And then, I guess that's all. So we are gonna skip this last activity.
Or make it more of a homework.
Or make it, it's just a little review of everything that we've done. But we did want to show you the Digital Learn website. Has this quiz, and also just lots of resources that you have access to. So these are all videos, video tutorials for all sorts of different things. Intro to email, using a Mac, intro to Google Maps, intro to Skype, or I'm surprised they don't have Zoom.
It might still be coming, they're constantly adding
Okay.
more on there.
So this is available to you for free, and just lots of different resources, including, this is what we just went through. So if you want to watch it at your own pace, you can stop the video and start when you want. And then all the way at the end is this practice test. Yeah, so lots of resources. Sorry, just skip through these. Okay, any questions that anybody has before we end? And again, if you have anything that you'd like to go through that's a little more involved, feel free to call the library and make an appointment with Sarah or I, or send an email. We're happy to help you out.
And if you can, like, in that email, let us know what you want to focus on, just in case we need to do a little research.
Right. We don't know everything. So we want to say congratulations. Today you learned about iPhones and iPads. You built skills to navigate your device, get connected to Wi-Fi, identify common apps, identify helpful settings, and learn useful tips to connect to Wi-Fi and use your device safely. Thank you guys so much for coming. And again, today's training was provided by AT&T and the Public Library Association.
And we have some door prizes. The grand prize is an iPad mini with a case and an Apple iStore gift card. So, the winner is Pilar.
Yes.
That's amazing.
But there's more, so everyone will be leaving with some. Just a second.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some wall chargers, because who doesn't need a wall charger for as many devices that we have? Okay. Barb S. She gets one of those.
These are very fast wall chargers, so.
Barb White.
Wow.
There's a lot of names.
That's awesome.
Mary. One as well. Right there. I got two more of those?
Yep.
Margaret.
This is a great one.
Ruth. You didn't want one yesterday, so we'll skip you. Halima. Yes. Halima gets one. All right. And then, how many did you say there?
Well,
All right. So everyone also gets an Apple gift card.
Wow. That's awesome.
I had no idea you'd come here to be such a, such a lucrative.
There you go. Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Wow.
All right. Thank you all for coming. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, please fill out the survey. That would be wonderful.